Hey, I'm glad you're here. I've been wanting to talk to you for a while about where this YouTube channel's going. It is not going where I wanted it to. I have been in corporate America for so many years. I go out there to these companies. They pay me a ton of money. I show up. I'm supposed to convince all these people. I can't tell them exactly what's wrong because there's all kinds of politics there. Even if I see, and I usually do within like 2 weeks of showing up, I know like that you need to fix this, you need to fix this, you need to fix this. They don't listen to me. They just want me to tell them what they already want to hear, essentially. And then they're like, why can't we become an agile company? And it's like, well, because you don't want to do what I'm telling you you really need to do to change. And there's no framework to do this. You know, there's the SAFe framework, there's Enterprise Scrum, there's all these different frameworks, which are good, they help people, but like every time I go into a company, there's something new that I find that I like never could have predicted before. And then I'm supposed to put that into some kind of repeatable thing. So every time I show up there, here, just fill out this 8,000 question survey and you'll know exactly what to change. I mean, that's not going to help them. Usually the best way I've been able to fix stuff that's really needs help at a software company is like, I got to go in there, I got to get to know the people, I got to find out what have you already tried, what haven't you tried, and usually there's a lot of stuff I'm going to recommend that they've already tried. They're not willing to try it again unless they trust me. So I spend a whole bunch of time building trust and then help somebody with some small changes and then I leave. So I made this YouTube channel really for two reasons. One is I want you to fix your company. I don't want them to have to pay an agile coach or me or somebody who's going to come in there temporarily, fix the issues, identify them, and then half of them are implemented and half of them aren't, and then they leave and now you're stuck there and you are holding the set of recommendations and it's up to you and you've got no one helping you. If I'm here every day with you or as frequently as I can be, hopefully I can help you think about some different ways, at least that have worked for me, that might get the changes that you want made at your company. The other reason I made this YouTube channel is because I can't get on a piece of paper or in a blog post or in a book like everything that I think would help people that I want to share. And a lot of the things that I really want to tell you, your company's not going to go for it out the gates. They're not going to be ready for that. A lot of the stuff I've talked to you about is controversial, or it's things I really want to say to my clients, but I can't. They aren't ready to hear it yet. And so this is also a way for me to just get out what I think. And every time I make a new video, it's really cool. I mean, the comments are great and stuff, but what I really love about it is it makes me look at that new video like in the context of every other video I've done so far. And then it makes me think like, what's the next best thing to share with you that's going to help you? And it also helps me figure out like, what am I really trying to say? What's the core message that I'm trying to help people with? So I'm going to keep talking to you and I'm going to keep sharing these ideas with you, but I want to try to do it a little different than I have been. I don't want to be so much like I get up and give you a whole bunch of bullet points and stuff, advice that's going to help you. I know that is going to help you, but I think it will work better if you understand like some of the projects I've been on and why I came to those conclusions and what went wrong and how I got to the point where I realized doing one of these things that I tell you about all the time is really going to help. And man, there's some major construction that's been going on behind our subdivision here. So if you hear hammering and stuff, that's what is going on. But I'm at this crossroads in my career where I have to decide, what am I going to do in my career right now? I've worked with all these other people that are directors now and they're VPs and they're moving up into these positions. And ultimately, like, I don't really want to do that. I could do that. I've been doing this long enough. I've been a consultant for a long time and all that, but like, that's not where my heart is. My heart is really every company I go to, they don't have a handle on being agile. And I think it's not about that, they don't understand Scrum and they don't understand the processes. That's some of it, and that's some of what I talked to you about. But I think a lot of it is just the people aren't willing to accept mistakes, forgive each other, have good relationships, right? This is the stuff I'm always talking with you about. And so right now, I think I'm more in a mindset where I'm looking at actually just getting a programming gig, maybe even like a senior engineer gig remotely where I can work underneath an existing lead or an architect or a director and not make the success of the project my problem, because whenever I do that, it ends up taking over my life. And that's what, some of the reason I talk to you about this is I don't want my life to be taken over by my job in software development so much, because I have a hard time setting boundaries. This is why I talk to you about this. Is it's something I'm struggling with a lot too. So I think if I just get like a senior programming gig, and then the time that I would normally be spending like driving downtown or wherever my client is around town, I'll spend that time making these videos and talking to you and really helping more people. And I think there's a lot of people out there that know a lot of stuff I don't, that I want to have on here, that I want to talk to you. And I've talked with them on Instagram and on Twitter, and a lot of them are totally down for it. It just has to happen. But I don't want this to turn into just another place where we talk about JavaScript or programming per se. I mean, that's fun. I love programming, but what I'm most passionate about actually is just getting people to work together better. Here I can be totally honest with you, and I haven't been. That's part of the problem is, and this is why this video is called the De-Corporatization of Jayme, is like I'm trying to let go of the part of me that always feels like I have to come across as knowing everything or that I'm right about all this, because I know that a lot of my experience will help you, but I also know there's new things to learn from every person. And I want to learn more, but I also want to help more. I think if you and I can just stick with this, where I share some ideas, you share some ideas, it's just going to make the channel better, because I'm going to figure out more and more what are the core things that I'm really seeing that really will crystallize for you, like where you need to make a change at your company to actually be healthier and happier. And I don't always know like what's the best way to put them. How am I going to actually get you like some results where you actually are happier, and it's not just like another blog post someone reads, here's the top 40 ways to have a better agile culture, and you go up onto Medium or somewhere and you read it and it's a fantastic article and it gets 50,000 reshares, and then nobody implements anything from it. I don't want to be that person. I want to offer actionable, useful advice in a real situation on a real project I've been on. So the end result of this is I'm going to have to work a little bit harder. When I talk to you, I can't just like put a presentation together. And the tough thing is I just can't tell you exactly who these companies are. I have non-compete agreements. I have confidentiality agreements with a lot of these clients, and they would not be happy if I just started telling you, hey, when I worked with company X, that's going to get me in hot water. I mean, this is part of the reason that you hear me always saying I've worked with over 30 companies, or like I've been doing this for 20 years. It's me being uptight, where I'm like, oh man, if I don't put my credentials out there, nobody's going to listen to me. And that's something that you got to worry about when you're being hired by a company. But here I'm just talking to you on YouTube, and I'm trying to learn better how to just let go of that, so I can just be really more open and just really just tell you exactly everything that's happening, exactly how I feel, and take this filter off of me, because I've got a filter on me right now where it's like I can't even say everything that's on my mind, because frankly I'm kind of worried that every time I go out and interview with a company, what's the first thing they're going to do, right? They're going to come to this YouTube channel. They're going to watch a couple of my videos. And if they find one thing in there that like HR doesn't like or clashes with their company culture, I'm out of there. They're not going to hire me. And so, I'm taking a risk kind of talking to you about this stuff. I just feel like the purpose of my career at this point is not to help one company make a whole bunch of money or fix their agile process. The purpose of my career at this point is to try to figure out, with everything that's happened to me over the last 20 years, some of it's been good and some of it has not been good on my career. How do I take that and now help way more people, and help people that are coming right out of college not jump into their career and like get into this situation where they're really frustrated? I don't want to see that happen to you. So I'm just going to keep meeting with you and telling you these stories, whether you like it or not. If this is the first time you've been here, consider subscribing. But thank you so much for everybody who's given me support. I know I can do better communicating this message, and if you just stick with me and encourage me and tell me where I'm going wrong, I know that I'm going to get to the point where you can take what you need to away from this, and you will be able to apply it, and you will be able to have a healthier career. Holy shit.